Everybody saw a cove in the bushes. It's a black Mercedes Benz C230. She glad knocked out of somebody leaving in the passenger seat.
Detectives and EMS arrived to the scene, found a young woman dead, searching through the vehicle. They see a car seat in the back. They realized it was a gunshot wound to the head, went through and out the window of the vehicle. They also think that she was made to look the other way before they fired. This is suitcases in the back. They also find a .45 shell casing by the suitcase. They found a bag of loud in her hand and a cigar in the ashtray. They also find items from Circle K in the vehicle. She was identified as Leila Smith. She ran on the track team, played amateur league football. She was also a mother of 2 daughters. The detectives also see that there was a missing person report put out on her earlier by her roommate that came home, noticed the house was trashed, and she wasn't there. So detectives get the roommate to come down and talk to him. They also have to find out where the child at, since they see a car seat in the back. So they head back to the precinct, speak with the roommate. She states that normally she home around 5:30 because that's around the time the club closes. She says she always comes straight home because she know her 2 daughters there with her and she has to work in the morning. She say the kids is with her mom. She also stated she went to work at 9 a.m., got home at 2:30. When she walked in, the house was ransacked. Beds flipped over, clothes thrown around everywhere. Her stuff was out of the closet. Living room was messed up. She also stated Kenny, which is her baby daddy, stayed the night last night. He came home somewhere in between 1 and 3 a.m. She also states that Kenny is married in his 50s. Wife found out about Leila last year. She states his full name is Kenny Campbell. She also gives them Kenny's phone number and Leila's phone number so they could see calls she made before she was deceased. So they wrapped that interview up.
Past police reports. Back in July of 2017, somebody shot her house up with .45 5 times.
So now that they have Leila's phone number, they set out to contact the phone company to get the records from her. In the meantime, while that's going on, Detective Rogers see if he can reach out to the baby daddy, Kenny. So they get in touch with Kenny. Kenny states that he'll come down and speak with him. The process of waiting on Kenny to get down there, they get their phone records up on the computer. The phone records show that she called Kenny at 3:38 a.m. and then Kenny calls her back around 6:01 a.m. So they know whatever happened was between that 3:38 and 6 in the morning time frame. So a few hours later, Kenny pops up. They take him into the interview room. Ask Kenny when was the last time he spoke with Leila. Kenny states around 3:36. Kenny states that he got to the club around midnight, wasn't feeling too good, left around 3:10 a.m., heading back to her apartment. Kenny states as he was en route to the apartment, Leila called him, said she was on her way, but she got to make one quick stop to do a jug. A jug is basically she had something lined up on the side to make a little extra change after she got off her shift. So then Kenny asked, where did y'all find her at? Detective said, who said we found her? Kenny states, I know y'all found her because I spoke with the roommate who told me that she already spoke with y'all. Kenny also says he was waking up by the kids around 7 a.m. the next morning, asked where Leila was. They said she hadn't made it home yet. He said, so he got up, went to work at a place called Gotta Go, delivered a porta potty, came back around 8 something. She still wasn't there. He said he stayed till about 10 a.m., left again, came back to the apartment around 3 something p.m. And the house was ransacked at that time, like people was looking for something. He said her bed was flipped and the drawers was all pulled out. So they wrapped that interview up with Kenny. Right now, they not really believing his suspect. They thinking she may have met somebody after the club and they may have done this, but it's still up in the air right now. So they head back over to the apartment to further view the scene.
No forced entry.
No. The thing has 3 locks on it.
It looks staged to me.
You think Kenny? Other than Leila and her roommate, Kenny is the only person with the key to this apartment.
So after leaving the apartment, they decide to look up Kenny records a little. So they see that Kenny has a previous felony conviction. They say normally when you have a murder scene, then the second crime scene, like the house was, is normally staged. So that's them wrap Kenny up as a suspect now. So they head off to the club, Cookies and Cream, see if they can get any type of video. So after they get the video, they swing by Kenny's job to verify what he said for the time frame he delivered the porta potty. So Kenny's alibi checks out. They head back to the precinct, start reviewing the video. It shows just after midnight, Leila working her shift. They see Kenny arrive. Then around 3:35 a.m., they see Kenny exit the club with a group of other guys. They head to Kenny pickup truck. One of the guys exits the pickup with a weapon. Heads back to his vehicle. Even though Leila was killed with a .45, so they know that's not the murder weapon, but they still want to speak to the guy with the weapon. Also, Kenny, being a convicted felon, shouldn't be in possession of a firearm. So a couple minutes later, they see Leila exit the club, get into her vehicle, head off in the same direction Kenny was going.
Based on the fact that they're seen getting a gun out of his car, this would probably give us enough to do a search warrant for his house.
So with Kenny being seen on video, handing a guy a gun out of his vehicle, that's enough for them to get a search warrant on Kenny's residence, considering he's a convicted felon. In the meantime, they get a hold to the guy who Kenny gave the gun to, who turned out to be the club manager. He comes down and states that Leila is one of the ones at the club you don't have to worry about because she's street smart. He was shocked somebody was able to get the drop on her like that. They asked him during that night how was the interaction with Leila and Kenny. He said it was just a normal night. Everybody was cracking jokes and everything. So they asked him about the rifle. He stated it was his hunting rifle. Kenny was just cleaning it for him. He states that Leila called him brother and he called her his sister. If anything he can do to help, he will. So they wrapped that interview up with the club manager. So the next day, they head out to Kenny's residence, try to serve their warrant. Once they gain entry into the house, detectives find a 9mm, a .380, a rifle, and boxes of ammo. Inside a Mercedes parked in the driveway, they also find another weapon. In the process of that, Kenny's wife pulls up. They ask her where Kenny's at. She says she don't know. She also states that Kenny was married before to someone named Shannon, and she was killed. So detective explained to her the reason they there is Kenny's baby mama was just killed. So they're assuming all those weapons in the car, probably Kenny's wife's guns. So they wrap that up, head back to the precinct. They get a call from Leela's mom giving them an update about when their house was shot up. She says that Kenny told Leela to sit on the couch on the sofa and he'll be right back. Leela decided to get up, going to the bedroom. 8 shots rang out right into the sofa. She not saying it was intentional, but it's coincidental. So the next day, they get their Circle K video. Video shows a black Mercedes, like Leela's, pulling into the Circle K at the gas pump around 3:54. Gentleman exits the vehicle, walking to the Circle K, and it's Kenny. Purchases a bag of Lay's chips. Same chips were found in the vehicle. Then he exits the Circle K, gets in the driver's side, and takes off. Remember, Kenny said he left the club around 3:10, went straight home and went to sleep. Now they see him somehow driving the victim's vehicle. So they get a search warrant for Kenny's phone to see where that put him at the time of the crime. So while they waiting on phone records from Kenny, they go grab a case file from his ex-wife, Shannon. Shannon's death was ruled a homicide, still unsolved. Details say someone stood right over her, shot her in the back of the head, and this all comes from the autopsy report. And in the suspect file, listed as Kenny Campbell. They just weren't able to prove it. They also said that Kenny received a $100,000 life insurance policy off the death of his ex-wife, Shannon.
Yeah, she said that Leela had told her that Kenny won't leave his wife, and she was through with Kenny's ass.
So Leela was trying to leave him?
Yeah.
That could be a possible motive. So they get the phone records from Kenny. It doesn't ping him nowhere near where Leela was murdered. So Kenny moving smart right now. So as they looking over that, they get another phone call from a shop owner saying the night of the murder, he had called police about a Mercedes sitting on his lot. They came, ran a VIN on it. Detectives check out that information. Turned out that there was Kenny Mercedes sitting on his lot 2 blocks from the murder scene. He said then the next morning, he noticed it was a car down the street from the shop, which was the black Mercedes, where the dead body was found. And he noticed the Mercedes SUV was gone. So a couple of weeks after that, Kenny was picked up on that warrant for being a convicted felon in possession of a firearm. Bring him down to the precinct so they could interview Kenny about Leela. So Kenny was booked in on a gun charge. Before they really got a chance to talk to him, Kenny made bond already. So now they trying to take the evidence they have over to the DA, see if they could get the murder warrant for Kenny. They was granted the warrant. 5 hours later, Kenny was apprehended, taken back into custody. Kenny states he have nothing to say to them. If he under arrest, take him to jail. So they charged Kenny with the murder. He's currently awaiting trial. All suspects are presumed innocent until proven guilty. Thank you for watching. Hit that like button, leave me some comments. Y'all stay safe out there. I'm done talking.
Tell me about her murder. Once again, I want to let them stay. We got the president of my attorney.
All right.
I'm under arrest. Take me to jail.